Hi friends, it's Anita. As requested, I'm going to attempt to show you how to the words spoken live. Thank you, Sandra. I heard you in my head. So, I was saying, sorry guys, you're going to do the half double burst of kindness with me today. So, you can see me, I'm right there. I'm going to walk you through it and kind of show you at the same time. So hopefully it all works. Now you'll need whatever hook you need. I'm using a 5.5 dot hooks of my leftover yarn, which is plenty, probably a posting, but this is from the Just Premier value. It's no longer that amount, but it's probably 300 yards or so left over. And I did attempt earlier and then I messed up, so I had to redo it. So bear with me. You'll need a stitch marker. I'm using a 4-weight as well, but use whatever you have with the corresponding hook. Now this is going to be a multiple of 6, and I'm going to start off with a double magic circle. Hopefully you know how to do that. Okay, that chain 1 does not count as a stitch, but I'm going to go ahead and put my stitch marker on the hook to let me know where the first stitch is. So I am going to show the instructions here as I go. That way you have a written reference as well. So row 1, we're going to do 6 half double crochets in the magic circle. And to do a half double, basically, hopefully you know what a half double is. Yarn over, go into the loop, pull up loop, yarn over, and go through all 3. That's a half double. This one is not that chain. This doesn't count, so ignore that. And we'll do that 5 more times. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 half double crochets. And then to close up the circle, you have your tail. I pull the tail just slightly, the first one to go in, so you see 1 and 2 there. The first one to move, I should say, which is the one that was on top. I'm going to pull that one first, and that's going to make the one underneath it disappear. Now you pick up the tail and pull, and that one goes away. Wasn't that just cool? It's magic. Okay, so now what you're going to do is, let me show you the stitches. So this stitch here is the top of the stitch, and then on the side of it here is the post. You're going to be doing 1 in each of those to do an increase. So the first stitch you're going to go into is going to be the top of the stitch, and then we're going to put around the post, which is that one. So that's part of row 2. So let me put the directions up. So And this tail, you can leave it hanging, but I like to carry it as I go so I don't have to kind of sew it in later. But do whatever makes you happy. So we're going to just move this over to the side so that, it doesn't get in your way. But the stitch marker is going to tell you when to start and stop. So, like I said, we're going to work in the top of the stitch and then around the post of the stitch, which is this one here. So yarn over, go into the stitch, and I'm just gonna carry this tail, go through all three. That's your first stitch. Now remember, we are going to go through the post of that stitch, which is just this little thing here. So what you can do is yarn over, go through the post, there, yarn over, pull up a loop, you have 3 on the hook, and go through all 3. So that is technically 1 and 2. That's your increase. And you're going to do that all the way around until you get back to this post here. So I like to count as I go, but since this is a tutorial, I don't want to mess you up, but it's crucial to make sure your rows are, or your numbers are right. I'm going to try my hardest not to count and mess you up, but you're going to yarn over, go into the first stitch, remember on top, pull up a loop, yarn over, and go through all 3. And you can see the leg of that stitch very clearly now. I'm going to go through the front post of that stitch, yarn over, and go through all 3. And repeat that until you get to the end of the row. So that, again. Around the post. Around the post. And the last one. And then what I like to do is just go back and count the posts. 1, 2, and 1 round post is 12. Okay. And I still have quite a bit of this tail. I'm just gonna cinch it just a little bit, not too tight, because you don't want that to pucker. And actually, I'm gonna move this so that it gets out of the way to the stitch on the hook. Okay, so for the next row, we're going to bring in what I call a half double decrease, but it's technically a single crochet two together. Let me show you how to do that. So here's the first stitch, here's the second stitch. We're going to start a single crochet like you normally would, but instead of yarning over and going through the two loops, you're going to stop, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and then go. You should have 3 loops on the hook as such. So you can go in and pull up a loop, go into the next stitch and pull up a loop. 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through all 3. Now because you just decreased the increase, you still need to have 3 stitches in this row. So what you're going to do is basically the loop that you just came out of, you're going to add 1 half double crochet. And that makes 2 stitches. But remember, we're doing a burst of kindness. So the burst of kindness is basically the post, front post. So you're going to add another stitch, a half double, in that front post by doing a front post. As such. So now you have 1, 2, 3 stitches. You're on row 3, so you have 3 stitches in each section. And you're going to repeat that. Single crochet 2 together, half double in that same stitch you came out of, and then a front post half double. That should be 3. So now you're at 6 stitches. And I'm just carrying this tail so that it can weave in. 1, 2, front post. Two, front post is 3. 1, front post is 3. Okay, and you have 1 section of the pie left. Sorry if you guys can hear the cicadas. It must be mating season. I don't know. So 1, 2, and front post is 3. Okay, so at the end of row 3, you should have 18 stitches. Let's just count and make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and front post is 18. Okay? And I like to just pull it just a little bit, but then wiggle it out. That way, you know, don't lose anything. Alright. And I still have this much tail left. I could probably do 1 more row. So moving on to row 4. So each row that you move up, you should have that number of stitches in each section of the pie. So we're going to do another 2 together. So you're going to do in, in. Yarn over and go through all 3. Now because you're back to this stitch, which is your front post, what you're going to do next is you did do your decrease or your 2 together, and this stitch right above the front post, you're going to do a half double increase, which is 2 half double crochets. And stitch 1, 2, and then you're going to do a front post half double. So that should be 4 stitches. So you have your decrease 1, and then you increase 2, 3, and then your front post is 4. Repeat that all the way around. Front post. See if the tail kind of disappeared. Just to be cautious, I'm going to make sure I have 24 stitches. Yay. Did you guys get the concept? So now we're going to go to row 5, which should be 5 stitches in each section. Going to start off with a single crochet 2 together. 1. Now you're going to have an extra stitch here, so you can do 1 half double on that stitch. And then when you get to the next stitch, which is going to be your front post stitch, you're going to increase with 2 half double crochets. And then the final stitch will be a half double front post. There you go. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, and the front post is 5. Repeat that all the way until you get to the stitch marker. You should have 30 stitches. That's 5. Alright, so at the end of row 5, you should have 30 stitches. It's growing. I'm going to go ahead and go to row 6. And you guessed it. You should have 6 stitches in this section of the pie. And we're just going to keep going. So what I'm going to do is just crochet. You guys read the pattern. And then hopefully you don't need me to talk anymore. I'm going to play some music as we go as well. Let's repeat that. Okay, so single crochet 2 together, 1, 2 half double crochets, increase with 2 half double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the front post is 6. and then you're going to repeat that all the way around, and you should have 36. I hope that makes sense. I'm kind of just going everywhere, but let's go ahead and get row 7 completed, and we're 28 minutes in. So the first stitch is going to be the single crochet 2 together. That's 1, and then you're going to have 3 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, a half double crochet increase, 4, 5, and then a front post half double crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then front post is 7. So each section of the pie, which you can kind of see now the double first, which is basically the front posts, and you can see that it's starting to curve too as it's going. Increase and front post. Increase and front post. 3 more times. And front post. Increase. Front post. Seven. Okay. At the end of this row, you should have 42 stitches. You're going to keep going until you get to 60 stitches. I'm just going to crochet and hopefully get the crown part of this done within 40 minutes. We'll see. But keep working with me. Grease. Front post. increase, increase, and front post. Got 3 more sections. Front post, 8, okay, last section. Front post, 8. So it's kind of curving up. That's okay. Just push it down. Alright, so we finished row 8. We should have 48 stitches. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 posts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. And we're going to keep going until we get to 60 stitches. So row 9, 9 times 6 is 54. Okay. Single crochet 2 together. 1. And then half double crochets in the next 5 stitches. Increase. Oh no, sorry. That was 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. 5. And then increase. And then front post. So that should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Around the post is 9. Keep going. Around the post. I gotta talk to myself while I'm crocheting. Sorry if I'm distracting you. But single crochet 2 together is 1. Increase. And front post. That's 9 stitches. Got 2 more sections. Increase. Around the post. That's 9. 1 more section. Increase. Front post. Okay, 9. At the end of row 9, you have 54 stitches. Okay, we'll do one more time. And at this point, you can do your hand methods to see if it's big enough. If it's not, my hand methods is the crown of your head should go from the palm of your hand all the way to the tip of your finger, your middle finger. I think I can go one more row, which will be at 60. But if you need more, you keep going in this manner. But it should still be a multiple of 6 because you start with 6. So if you need to go to row 11 or 12, so be it. So last row for me is going to be single crochet 2 together. That's 1. And then 6 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then an increase. And a front post. And that should be 10. So the 2 together is 1. And then we had 6 half double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm sorry, 9. That's the increase. And then front post is 10. And just repeat that all the way around. At the end of this row, you should have 60. I'm sorry. Single crochet 2 together. 1, 6 half doubles. Increase. and front post. And repeat that. Increase, front post. And 1, 2, 3 more sections. Increase, front post. 2 more sections. Increase, front post. It's getting bigger. And we're at 45 minutes. Nope, got stuck in that picture. Do that again. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the post. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on post is 10. Okay. So we have made it to the end of row 10. And it kind of pops up right there, but that's okay. It'll stretch out. So the stitch marker, I like to move it up to the last stitch. Okay, so let me take this off the screen so you can see. So basically you take your hand and it should go from tip to base, which it does for me. And I have a measuring tape right here. For me, that's about 6 inches. Yeah, but roughly about 6 inches, which is the size of my hand, 6 inches. That's how I use my hand method. Okay, so now what you're going to do next for row 11, super easy. Basically, what you can do is just single crochet in each stitch. Oops, sorry. So row 11, you're just going to single crochet. And basically what you're going to do is go into each stitch and do one single crochet. That's 10. Okay. 30. 10. Technically that's 40. 50. One more set. And 10. Okay, so there you have cleaned it up, and basically it's gonna start to cuff. This is where the crown will be. So if you fold it in half, this basically goes straight down from here. But that is how you do the half double for Surprise crown. That's it. So we did in an hour. Good job.